What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and we are back with my new favorite Prismatic Warlock build. We've got the Crown of Tempests again, but this time instead of using Stormcaller, we're using Song of Flame. If you watched my solo Insight Terminus, you'll know what I'm talking about, because I used Storm Trance, and then I also used Darcy in that run, where in this run I am using Whisper the Worm. And that's just because I wanted to see how Whisper plays out, and it's really nice on the Walker, and it's just an awesome gun in general. So you can see I have Slice, Golden Tricorn on Aisha's Care, and then I've got Indebted Kindness with Lead from Gold Volt Shot. So yeah, I don't actually have a way of dealing with overloads. We've got Anti-Barrier Pulse and Anti-Barrier Sniper, and then I've got Unstoppable Sidearm on, and that's just to make it overcharged. Because if I didn't do that, it would be doing 25% less damage because Void and Solar Surge are on for this Nightfall. No Arc Surge. And then I am using Storm Grenades with Jolt, and then, like I said, the Volt Shot Sidearm. So Volt Shot Arc ability kills or Jolt kills is what procs Conduction Tines with this build. And then here you can see we've got Threaded Blast. So that's basically like a mini Warmind cell. for your strand tangles when you shoot them with a strand weapon. So yeah, here you can see Jolt just takes out all those those rushing thrall with ease. We've got Hellion, and I've got Facet of Hope. So it's whenever you have like a light, if you have like Radiant or Amplified or something like that, which we get Amplified a lot with this build. That will proc Facet of Hope, which reduces your Rift cooldown. Look, I already have my Rift back. So this part can be a little sketchy because Bungie did something with like the Wizard. Look, the Wizard spawns on top of me, so I almost die here. But you can see Whisper of Worm. We have Sniper's Meditation as well. So Whisper of the Worm took out that jolted captain in like 3 shots because I had Radiant going. He was unraveled, he was jolted, and then we just plinked away with Whisper. So yeah, Whisper's awesome. The one downside to it is there's Barrier Knights. And then, yeah, these Thrall spawn. So I don't know what the hell Bungie did here, but it's really annoying. Also, I have Shock and Awe on, so if I'm amplified and I'm getting arc kills, it will release a jolting jolt or whatever. A burst of jolt. So this is why I have Anti-Barrier Pulse on. Because Whisper is great, but it requires crits, right? So there, I get ammo back for hitting my crits. But if you try to break the shield of a knight with it, you can't hit crits on knights, which is so annoying. So here, I pop Transcendence. I threw my grenade, I pop Transcendence, then I pop Song of Flame. So that's the order you want to do it in. Because look, now my Transcendence, I'll actually be Transcendent coming out of Song of Flame, which is really cool. And then there, I thought I had procced Volt Shot off that guy, but I don't know if that captain was actually jolted. So yeah, look, because I was getting so many kills while in Song of Flame, I'm still Transcendent. Unfortunately, I don't come out of it with my Transcendence Grenade, which would have been nice on the captain, but it is what it is. So that's a little trick you can do, and then I haven't tested it yet, but I am going to test it before I make my build video on this build. But apparently Crown of Tempests extends the duration of Song of Flame. You still use the same amount of ability energy when you cast your abilities, but it does extend the duration, supposedly. That's what my comment section told me, one commenter. So I will test that. But yeah, anyways, Song of Flame is so good because you can be shooting your guns and dealing with enemies. So here, normally I sit at the back of the room in that safety area. But because I have, Devour, I'm free to just proc Devour, which I did on those little Thrall that rushed me. And then I just stand up here and I'm not really concerned. And then there you can see Jolt is just so good on Overload captains. So we take him out really easily. And now there's just a bunch of dregs over here. There you can see Shock and Awe in action. I pretty much just spam my grenades with this build because Devour gets us it so fast and Conduction Tines. So yeah, it's just really good. See, we're keeping Devour going. Normally those dregs, they can mess you up. And look, I've got my grenade back already. These guys are spawning. We're just going to waste a grenade. Here, I almost die because of where my stupid tangle spawned. I was trying to shoot it for an explosion. Reason being, when that explodes and hits all those shanks, you get a lot of darkness energy. And that's what I'm trying to do here. So yeah, you can see my darkness meter fill up very fast there, which is nice, obviously. So this build is basically all around getting Transcendence. That's why I'm running a Strand primary. Because you do need a way to deal strand damage. And then the arcane needles are nice because they unravel targets. So you'll get a lot of free strand damage that way. But yeah, that's kind of the reasoning there. You don't want to run a kinetic if you can avoid it. Run something stasis or strand. Then you can get your, whatchamacallit, Transcendence. And then I pretty much just pop Transcendence whenever I can. Because it's just so good and strong. So here, we're going to get that nade. We're going to do... So that's weakening because I have facet of whatever. So normally, the reason I snapped again there is because if you cause an ignition, you can keep the knight stun locked before he puts up his shield. So it didn't work there, but I have done it where I kept him stun locked, and I've killed him before he even put up his shield. Then I use a whisper shot on that faraway vandal because he is a real threat. And then we still have Transcendence going. Unfortunately, I threw the nade in a useless spot, but it doesn't matter too much. And then, yeah, again, it's just all about spamming our abilities. Unfortunately, that Vandal, like, moved, but they are jolted. So hopefully I can get some Conduction Tines going. And then we're going to pop that. And yeah, then we're just back on the road to getting Transcendent. And that usually doesn't take too long as there's lots of enemies. So here's some enemies. Again, I'm just... Pretty much this build is just ability spam. You just chuck your abilities as much as you can. You try to jolt everything. And then once they're jolted, you're proccing Conduction Tines for getting jolt kills. And ability kills. So like when your grenade actually kills something, that's giving you Conduction Tines as well. Which is reducing all your cooldowns, like your Rift and even your Super. And Song of Flame, in my opinion, is the strongest super in the game. So that's obviously really good. There, we get Jolt on this Captain. We just keep proccing Devour to stay alive. Unfortunately, all those guys drifted up to me. So my grenade pretty much missed all of them. But they're super easy to kill, so we're just going to use our Strand Pulse Rifle to farm a bunch of Darkness Transcendence for the next wave of enemies, because there is 2... Overload Captains with this wave. So here, just doing a quick little ammo run. Again, I've got lead from gold, so now we're like full on our sidearm. Oh yeah, I run fastball with these storm grenades as well. Literally just because that is my way to jolt these captains. So it helps a lot. And I wish they would push up a little more. And there, I thought I had Bolt Shot, but I didn't. So I'm just trying to get Bolt Shot on this guy. And then there you can see Hellion actually got us a ignition, which was nice. Didn't have my Whisper loaded, unfortunately. But the Jolt is keeping them from regenning health. And then we're just going to melt them. So it was a little chaotic and messy, but it still got the job done just because of the pure ability spam. We had Unravel going, we had Jolt going, we had Hellion doing damage. There's just so many things that like are assisting in the amount of damage you're doing. And then there, I don't know how my Storm Grenade did like no damage on that Vandal. But this part's really annoying because rocket sidearms are projectiles, so they really have trouble hitting things around railings. So that's what was going on there, why I wasn't able to hit it. I'm just keeping my my Super and Transcendence for the next part, because once those captains are down, it's really just a matter of cleaning up the rest of the ads. So now, this part, I popped Transcendence. I don't know if I needed to, but we're going to get an explosion. And then, I don't know what the hell I'm doing there. This part's a little ugly. What I should have done, I think there is still one more drag up, thank goodness. Yeah, so I want to proc Volt Shot off that drag, if I can. And then our grenades, they weaken because they're void, but they also slow because they're stasis. They'll slow and freeze. So that's how it was able to stun that captain there. And then we get Jolt on it, which makes it really easy because I'm trying to save as much Whisper ammo as I can for this next part. Because Whisper is really, really good for taking out the Walker. As you'll see, I think we get it in one cycle, like where you break the leg and then start dealing damage to it. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a crit. Oh, maybe I do get a crit on that barrier in time. But I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting the magazine to refill on its own because I thought it was too long of a delay. But fortunately, it wasn't. And yeah, again, you can see just Whisper is so good, especially when you can hit crits, like on a barrier servitor. Like I said, on Knights, it's not as good because you can't hit your crits. So there we get Conduction times 3. But that's really only helping our grenade right now because we had all our other abilities charged. But that's alright. So we get the Brig spawned in right away, which is fine. Unfortunately, he's way freaking back. So what I like to do is, and then where did this guy come from? So I like to pop Song of Flame on the Brig, but he's normally not this far up. Because Song of Flame absolutely wrecks it. But from this distance, it's not great, and the Walker's up. So this was really unfortunate, and this was by far my biggest time loss. What I'd like to normally do is not spawn in the Brig, and then I take out this Overload Captain that's right in front of me. And then once all that's dealt with, then I like to spawn in the Brigs. But the rocket sidearms are really good for these Brigs as well. I thought his thing was about to pop off because it's usually at about half health. And then we just get 3 snipers and he's dead like immediately, even though I don't think we still had Radiant, but that was fine. Now just looking for this other Brig, and then these stupid freaking Vandals are so annoying. So yeah, snipers are really good for dealing with these Vandals, but I also kind of want to save my Whisper ammo for the Walker. So finally, this Brig rotates over, which is huge, and I'm having to waste a ton of rocket sidearm ammo, which sucks, but you kind of got to do what you got to do. Somehow my melee missed there, which is also really annoying because that unravel damage would be helpful. So here we get Transcendence. And again, Whisper doesn't even need Radiant, just takes it out so quick. So yeah, now I'd like to deal with a few of these Vandals if I can. And yeah, whenever you see that laser, just get out of there because that Walker is going to laser you. There, I take 2 shots, so I easily could have died there. Luckily, my Transcendence grenade. So this was very, very ugly. If you watched my Hunter video yesterday, it was a lot more clean, this part. But sometimes you just have to go with what the game's giving you. Unfortunately, I am out of my special ammo. And sometimes you have ammo over here because there's all those enemies when you come in here. But I don't this time. So here, we're just going to try to keep our Whisper going constantly. So I put down a Healing Rift. That's just because I didn't take out all those Vandals in the back. So I'm just being extra safe. So we have Whispered Breathing, we had Radiant, and now we have Sniper's Meditation as well. We don't have Radiant anymore, but Sniper's Meditation and Whispered Breathing, look at it absolutely chunk this guy. As long as we don't miss our shots, we'll keep proccing White Nail and getting ammo back. And there, you can see we killed the Walker solo 1 stun. Like, that's absolutely massive. Here we do some damage on the Marauders. Start doing some strand damage just to get some Transcendence because we are really low on ammo. And then on this run, I get really lucky. Look, that barrier servitor, he came to where I needed him to come to. And I just hit enough shots to take him out. I think I did miss 1 crit there, but that was huge to get him down. So now I'm out of like all ammo. But you can see there's a bunch of green bricks up there. And this is where Threaded Blast comes in handy. Look at how much damage it did to all those guys. So again, this is just where it's nice having Arcane Needles to do that unravel. I also have Slice on my Pulse Rifle. So I could put down my Rift, proc Slice, and then that will proc a Tangle. So we're going to explode that one. We take out even more Vandals. So yeah, if you don't have a sniper, this is how you'd kind of do it. Like normally I just sit back and take out all those Vandals, but I was saving my Whisper ammo for the other enemies. And then here we're just going to abuse, because we're like low on all our ammo, we're actually out of all our ammo. And this, I've never been so lucky. The Overload Captain, the other one, actually came over here while I'm Transcendent, stood in the Transcendent Grenade, and stunned itself. That is like crazy lucky. Like normally they jump out of your grenades that are supposed to stun them. This idiot jumped into it, so I couldn't believe it. We get a Volt Shot proc. We're in our Song of Flame. Unfortunately, I'm like out of Whisper ammo going into the boss, which sucks. But I do get a bit. And then I totally forgot about this guy, so this could have been really bad. So that's why I just spammed all my abilities there and got out of there, because he can mess you up. So yeah, that was just some decent movement on my part, kind of jumping his shots and avoiding them. Then just look around the battlefield for some ammo, and we're back full on our sidearm. These rocket sidearms are just so good on ammo economy, man. And then we have 12 shots, which if I get 4 procs of triple tap, that's going to turn into 16 shots. So quite a bit for the boss, actually. Unfortunately, I don't have Transcendence or my super for this part, but that doesn't matter. All we really need is a Jolt Grenade, and a Rift comes in really handy. So what I'm going to do is kill him, proc that, then we're going to explode that to take out a bunch of dregs, use our Rift so that we can kind of stand in there and let the Overload Captains get to a good spot. I want them to come a little closer. Unfortunately, they didn't, but we get the Jolt on them anyways. And again, I'm dealing with the dregs before dealing with the Captains, because the dregs are what's actually going to kill you. Champions are pretty easy to deal with if you know what you're doing. So I popped Transcendence there just to save ammo and just deal with them really quickly. That's kind of the name of the game in this boss fight, is get the enemies down as quickly as you can. The reason being, so there, I just wanted Whispered Breathing right ready to go. Because look, as long as you land 6 shots, you're on to the next damage phase. Here, I think I might get pushed by these Captains. Yeah, I get really lucky here because those guys both could have hit me at once and like one-tapped me. So that was a little sketchy, but I did have the overshield from a Rift, so maybe I still would have survived. But again, now look at my my super meter is almost back full, which is really nice. So yeah, what I was saying was you want to take out these enemies as quickly as you can, because that's kind of what extends this boss fight. If you take too long, more enemy waves will spawn in. So you want to get the enemies down as quickly as possible, and then just get your damage phase done, and then no more enemies will spawn in. It'll just be the next damage phase. So that's kind of the name of the game here. And then I got Transcendence. So again, like I was talking about, I basically spam Transcendence as much as I can. I think my grenade missed on that servitor, which was unfortunate, but that stuff happens sometimes. And it missed again. So even though I have fastball on, there's still like a pretty good arc, a pretty good lob to the grenade. So I'm not too sure what's going on there. I feel like those should have hit, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have to test some stuff, because I thought fastball worked with the Transcendence grenades, but maybe I'm mistaken. But anyways, trying to proc Volt Shot as much as I can as well for that conduction times to help my ability cooldowns. Getting some heavy ammo. And yeah, in general, just trying to take out the stuff as fast as possible now, because the enemies are dead. And of course, this servitor is just all over the freaking place. But yeah, the enemies are dead. I pre-pop my super so that I'm just good to go. So that's going to give me Radiant, and I can proc Whispered Breathing while he's unshielding, because that boss takes a second to unshield. So this is what we're using Song of Flame for, is that damage resistance, because these enemies are coming in now, but I use it so that I can just stand in there and deal a shit ton of damage. Now, because of that Threaded Blast, we got a bunch of Darkness energy, and we're back full on Transcendence. We're taking out tons of enemies with Threaded Blast. And yeah, it's freaking crazy. Now we get another one, take out a bunch more enemies, or at least deal some chip damage to them. I'm about to get a grenade here, so we'll just use that on all those enemies inside. And then we're just going to start working on the servitors because they do a bunch of AoE damage with their void blasts. So that can be kind of annoying. And then there, I had just proc Volt Shot, and I was about to start going in on the other servitor, and that guy literally jumped right into my line of sight, right in front of me, so I can put a rift down, pop Transcendence, and deal with him, no worries. So I got the craziest luck on Overload Captains in this, and then somehow this guy was jolted. I have never taken out those two captains easier. Normally you're chasing them around, it's just hectic as hell. Look at how many enemies I took out with that Transcendence. Look where my Transcendence meter is. It's still half full because I was taking out so many enemies. Like, this boss room was damn near as clean as you can get it. Obviously you can get it cleaner, like it's never going to be perfect, but I was very happy with this boss room. So now we pretty much have all the enemies dead. So I need to start taking out the servitors really quickly because, like I said, they're kind of on a timer. So the longer I take here, the more I'm screwing myself because I'm going to get another enemy spawn wave. So I need to hurry the hell up. Unfortunately, these servitors were being weird and annoying. So I'm just going to use my Whisper ammo because I have a ton of Whisper ammo. You could see we can get to like the next damage phase in like 6 shots. So I don't need a whole bunch of Whisper ammo. And then I know there's enemies down here, so I want to be cautious. So I just rip down here real quick, take them out, proc Bolt Shot, and I'm going to try to get it on the servitor. So yeah, I'm just posting up here now, getting ready. Try to get a nade on him. And then we're going to pop our Song of Flame. And yeah, so look, the enemies are coming in already. There's a bunch of shanks. So I did take a little long. So what I did there, because I had just cast a rift, or did I cast a rift? I think I did. I was able to proc Slice. Yeah, I cast the rift here, so then I'm able to proc Slice. So now that the boss is doing 40% less damage to me. And then we just go in with Whispered Breathing, and with Sniper's Meditation and all that, and Incendiary Rifle rounds and stuff, we're able to kill it in 6 shots. So yeah, that was the solo flawless Devil's Lair with the Crown of Tempest build, the Transcendence spam build, absolute pure ability spam chaos. This build's awesome. I love the style of my character with it. It's honestly just one of the favorite builds I've ran in a long time. So like I said, I will make a build video on it. I'll try to tailor it. I'm going to wait till I can read the TWID and really look over all the artifact mods and tailor it for next season's artifact mods. But you can see this season, it's super, super good, and it will still be really good next season. So anyways, if you're still here, thanks so much for watching to the end, and take care.